Hello parents and families of Division 13. I truly hope that this video finds you well in this unique time that we're all experiencing. This video is to communicate to you how and what I've decided to help your students continue learning within the next few weeks, and most importantly, why I've made those decisions. So let's start with why. Traditionally, the way teachers have approached teaching is to start with the subject you're going to study. So whatever unit of study you're going to do, you start with that, and then you move on to planning how you're going to teach that. And you make a plan, and then you deliver that plan, you teach. I philosophically, personally, don't believe that that's how education should be. And what I've attempted to do with your children for the first 2 terms of this year is approach it differently. I believe that education should start first with the student. It should be centered on the student. So the first step is to start not with the curriculum and with the subject you're going to teach, but with the student. Recognizing that they are an individual, that they are different. Each and every student is different and unique. And then plan not to teach the subject, but to teach the student. So each plan would be individual and unique because each student is unique. And then rather than deliver the plan, my job as a teacher has been to provide an educational experience that is personalized and individualized to each student. And that's what I've sought to do throughout this year for your children. I haven't been perfect at it, but it's what my goal is and what I've tried to do. So if we move on to how this is going to be delivered, the district has put out recommendations for students grade K through 3 and suggested that there is about an hour each day devoted to their learning. So 20 minutes focus on health and connection. So that's physical health, mental health, connection, and the district is saying that this is important, and I agree that this is important in this time to make sure that our students and our children are maintaining mental health, physical health, emotional health. They're being connected with other people, and they're being active, and they're learning to work with and work through emotions. 20 minutes a day, they're recommending focused on literacy, which is reading, writing, speaking, listening, viewing, language arts basically, and 20 minutes a day on numeracy, so math. They've also suggested that families engage in activities that they can do together as a family that will contribute to the students' learning, but this 2020 is the recommendation for K through 3. The problem that I have in trying to come up with ideas and assignments for my students is that I recognize that each of your situations in each family is very different. You have very different schedules. Each family has a very different access to resources, whether it's what you actually physically have in your home or what you feel comfortable as parents and caregivers doing in terms of delivering education. Many of you have more than one school-aged child, so it's now upon you to juggle 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different educational programs in one household. And most importantly, I recognize that each student is different and each student has different needs. So for me, it wouldn't make sense for me to assign the whole class the same assignment. It doesn't make sense educationally because all kids need different things. And it doesn't make sense practically in our situation that we're in right now because all families are in a different situation and have a different context. So because I believe that education should be individualized and personalized to each student, I've decided that I'm going to create an individualized plan for each of my students to give to you. An approach that is in line with my values and my beliefs as an educator. I've decided that I'm going to continue doing what I've been doing for your students and with your children, for my students this year, in recognizing them as individuals, planning individually for each of them. The only thing that I can't do is actually provide that educational experience for them because I'm not going to be there with them. That is now on you. So what I've decided that my focus will be is my focus will be on supporting you. My focus will be on doing everything I can to make sure that you feel like you know what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do it, that you have someone to come to when you have issues, and that I can provide you with everything that you need to make sure that your child is getting a meaningful and enriching learning experience and education while we are in this difficult time that we're in. So finally, let's talk about what it is that we're going to do. So I've decided that each week I'm going to call each one of you and have a conversation with you. You can tell me how things have been going. You can tell me what's been working, what hasn't been working, any questions or concerns that you may have through all of this. And I will tell you my thoughts and my input on where your child can go and the type of activities they can engage in to further their learning for the next week. And we'll work together to adjust it. Maybe we want to add more if you feel like your child needs more of a challenge. If you feel like it's too much either for the child or for you, we'll see how we can maybe dial it back or shift what it is and change how things are delivered or what the content is. That discussion will be personal and individualized in each of your families, and I will have that discussion with you. But I'm going to call you each week and have that conversation with you to make sure that the education that your child is receiving is exactly within an area that's not too difficult and not difficult enough and just right so that they can continue their learning. Having said that, of course, if between our conversations you do need to contact me, I will definitely still be available to you. You can email me or text me, let me know what's going on, ask any questions you have. I will definitely be available to you throughout the school week, but those conversations are how I'm going to communicate with you and work with you to support your child. So you can expect a call from me this week, and that initial call will be a chance for me to give you my initial input on what I think your child would benefit from learning and how. And also it will give me a chance to hear from you and your thoughts and whatever limitations or goals that you may have for this whole experience. And it will give me a chance to communicate to you what I think will work best for your child and will be easiest for you in this whole context. So I look forward to talking with you, and I look forward to working with you throughout these next several weeks, and I will talk to you soon.